ultimate sim racing showdown? The Drive for 500 is coming on February 14th, 2026. This isn't just any race. The winner takes home this exclusive, custom-made trophy. A one-of-a-kind prize that you won't want to miss. But that's not all. Every driver who qualifies and completes at least 50% of the laps will score exclusive giveaways. So whether you're fighting for first place or just making the field, there's something for everyone. Plus, we're on a mission to hit 500 subscribers by race day. Your support powers the race, so subscribe now and help us cross that finish line.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Vortex Racing Network's production of the Bonfire Premier Cup. The Bonfire Racing League is live in Tennessee from Bristol Motor Speedway. It's the round of 8, second race in this 3-race round. You got 3 wide into the booth, Mean Gene Money, Smokin' Joe, Johnny Replay. 3 men up in the booth, 28 men down on the track. Looking for some action here today. How we feeling, Smokin' Joe?
We're feeling like we got some more short track racing going on at a concrete behemoth of a racetrack. Absolutely, the last Coliseum is going to show us who's got the skill, the patience, and the consistency to get the win here today. Big race here in the round of 8 to decide who's going to make it to the championship 4.
Perfect track conditions. You can see there on the monitor, 76 degrees, no rain, little cloudy, little wind. Love what you see there. Transition race. It will be a night racing. 2 years ago, season number 12, the boys raced here at Bristol, but it was a day race. Tonight, we're going to transition into the evening. Johnny, what do you think there? Big difference for your driving style when you're looking at a day and a night race?
See, I kind of like transition races more because if I mess up in the first half, at least I can try to make it up in the second half. And it's 50-50 so far.
Well, as we all know, there's more than just 2 choices in this transition. Can't wait to see us go live here today. Remember, last week, boys and girls, the boys were racing there in that first round, and we saw Jason Landry take the win at Darlington, punching his way into the Final Four. Question is, who are the 3 men going to join him? We're going to find out a little bit later if we get a new winner. This is Win and You're In. The dominance of Landry continues. 7 wins on the year, 5 stage wins. You can see just how far above that line he is. Vulpes not with the effort that he wanted nor deserves last week at Darlington. Ends up dropping a little bit in that gap between he and Landry. Still firmly in the playoff hunt, a little bit above that line, but it did tighten up. Other fast movers, Jax Duvall took second place last week at Darlington. That jumped him up 4 spots into the 3rd position, where he is tied with Kevin Kyle. Rick Mandela also moving up a little bit as Lynott and Medina, especially with the drop. Brandon Shelton not here today. It takes 2 of the 3 races to advance, so Brandon will not be advancing to the final 4 as he is absent on the track here at Bristol. Medina, though, with that drop, gonna need a win or something spectacular to happen to jump back up over the cutoff line. Now, boys out on the track today, putting in a little bit of practice. We've seen various guys with various speeds, but the fella you got to be looking at, of course, Jason Landry, fastest in practice, 14.943. Only 2 other drivers made it below the 15-second mark. That's Garrett Austin, Golden Octopus Racing, and Gulf Coast Racing veteran Kyle Lynott. So those 3 guys looking really fast. Some sub 15.1 drivers as well. Tommy Fox, Rick Mandela, Eric Gambrill, Jared Kelly, Joe Vulpes, Jax Duvall. Any of those guys also could be on the radar for a win. Right now, we're looking at the number 11 Gulf Coast Racing driver of Joe Vulpes, second in points, needing a good day here today to make sure that he will advance. He's got a good record here at Bristol, got a fast car out there. But as always at Bristol, got to watch out for the other boys. Laying down a smoker right now. Going to be up at the top of the poll. This guy might want to get him a little piece of that SimRacingNation.com poll award. What you think, Smoking Joe? This guy going to be one to watch?
Yeah, just put down a really fast lap time. Only guy in the 14-second bracket right now out of people that have put down a lap time. So that's really, really good lap time from him. You can see another guy out here right now, Michael Sara, putting down a very good lap. Moves his way up to 5th on the leaderboard.
Michael Sara, of course, doing battle for that best of the rest championship. One of the top 3 guys battling, he, Rich Modric, and Jared Kelly. Seeing which of those 3 going to take home that sweet KK Woodscapes trophy for their efforts. Florida man, Jax Duvall. He's doing the trick, Johnny. He's out there. He's started his qualifying session, but he's not running yet. He's just gunning the engine, burning fuel. Is this a fallacy? Is this an urban legend, or do you think it actually helps?
I mean, Jax Duvall is obviously a better driver than I am. I've done this before just to see what other people are racing, and it puts my mood down a lot.
What, you get depressed sitting there?
No, I just see the fast times, and I'm like, damn, I didn't even run that close in practice.
I don't like doing it because I don't see the timer to let me know how much time is left in the session. And I'm afraid all of a sudden it's just going to click on me. Sim and Destroy Racing Company factory driver Kevin Kyle on the track right there, number 31. Of course, he is part of Team Folcom, but also co-sponsored by his own company, Sim and Destroy Racing Company. If you want some merch, this is the guy you need to get in touch with. Some fabulous shirts. He's got the Goldie Gentlemen Don't Lift, and plenty of other merch. SimandDestroyRacing.com. Kevin Kyle is tied for 3rd in the playoff points right now, looking for a good run. Kevin, an interesting driver. This is a guy that's going to try to save his tires more so than battle for front position. And that's always a big debate between drivers. Joe, do you want to race hard to get in the front, maybe avoid some of the wrecks? Or do you save your tires thinking to yourself, we're going a 100-lap green flag run. I'm really going to come into my own on lap 40 or 45. So really a big debate. Do you go easy at the beginning? Do you push it, get in the lead, and use track position. What side of this coin are you on there, Smoking Joe?
It's a tough one to really thread the needle on that, to really tell what you want to do. Saving tire, I think, at a track like Bristol is the most important thing to get done, though, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm leaning on that side as well. My personal preference, of course, is riding that apron as long as I can. I actually start trail braking pretty quickly after the start-finish line area on both sides. Hold that apron and slow roll it up coming out, and I've had great success saving tires. Now, of course, the fun comes later, having to pass on the high side if people are on the bottom slow, or of course, once they do what we see Nick Mills do and crash, you can just get right by them quite easily. Nick Mills finishing his qualifying.
He was actually starting his run right there. I switched on to him because it was about to be the start of his first lap. I don't know if he had an issue there coming to the green flag or what.
Ooh, who knows? You know, Nick does have a backup car. Might be in that today, having a little bit of issues. There's Jacques Duvall. This is the guy who we saw start his qualifying later, just running the car up, trying to get fuel out of it. As we all know, the second lap is the money lap. We're going to see what Duvall can do. First lap was 12th fastest, and touches the apron. Not sure if that's the way you want to go about it. Duvall off pace right now, and looks like he will be starting in that 12th position. Tommy Fox, Gulf Coast Racing driver, number 57 of Tommy. Tommy was one of the playoff 12, eliminated after the first round, but still got to be one of the best seasons for Tommy in the Premier Cup. This league just so fast and competitive. Tommy having to be thrilled with his efforts out there this season so far. And there's Nick, finally going to bring that 20 around. Fast guy right here, Joe. This is somebody you got to deal with at all stages of the race.
Yeah, not the last time we were here, but the time before that, Nick Mills ended up winning and actually dominating the race on tire and fuel strategy. Just way better than everybody else on saving tires. So I wouldn't expect him to have the greatest one-lap pace, but look out for him if this race goes green for a long time.
Another thing with these drivers, you need to be aware of how the pits work. You need to be aware of long run versus short run speed and how that's going to affect you throughout the entire length of a green flag run. There is the possibility of doing 100 laps in these cars, so you don't want to burn it up at the very beginning. Garrett Austin on the track now, the Golden Octopus number 87, making his way around in that beautiful PBR car. I think we've all had an experience or two with PBR. 20th.
Speak for yourself on that one, I think, Mean Gene.
What? Oh, Smoking Joe over here with gold in his pockets. His money doesn't jingle, it folds. No experience with the PBR for Smoking Joe. Probably doesn't even know what Mad Dog 2020 is.
You lost me.
You don't. He's silent. He's looking at me. Oh, my word. He doesn't know. Boy, he's missing out. All of you veterans of military service, you know exactly what we're talking about with the old MD 2020.
You know what? Speaking of military veterans, here's one for you right here.
Yeah, former Marine Jerry Rose Chrome Dome out of Birmingham, Alabama, rocking a new paint scheme. We've seen him with the chrome that turns into rubber-coated car after about 10 laps of riding around in the back. See what he can do here today. Not up to speed on this first lap yet. Looks like he might be of the mind that he is going to drop the hammer for lap number 2. Not a bad idea, Joe. These tires do take a minute to warm up.
Yeah, you know what we saw? We saw your pole sitter right now, Jason Landry, actually do it that way. Go really slow on the first lap, put down the heater on the second lap. That got him to the top of the charts.
1 and 2, Rose really burning it. Not down on the apron the way he'd like. Going to get back on the hammer.
Oh, I think he touched the wall.
And he's going to touch the wall and disqualify himself.
Man, that's a tough break.
I can hear on the radio from team owner, just like always, you son of a... And we're going to cut it off right there. Don't we want to stay monetized? So Rose going to be 24th with that 17-second qualifying time. Qualifying results are in, and congratulations to Jason Landry. You are the SimRacingNation.com Poll Award winner. Big shout out to Jason Landry for winning and sponsoring that. SimRacingNation.com, beautiful community of racers sharing ideas, concepts, setups. SimRacingNation.com. If you've never visited, take a peek. It's worth the look. Going to join on the second row with Joe Vulpes. So top 2 points setters are on your front row. Vulpes, the number 11, going to fire off from second place. Garrett Austin, the 87 Golden Octopus Motorsports driver, going to start third. Mark Dumont, this guy is getting better every time he shows up. Top 5s and top 10s for our French-Canadian friend, the number 14, going to start in fourth. Playoff driver Rick Mandela Sr., the number 3 Animal House Custom Racing guy, going to start in fifth. Wayne Newman going to be on the third row with him. 2 Golden Octopi in the top 6. David Brenner going to start from 7th. David was a round of 12 driver, eliminated after some light, hard contact in that round, starting 7th. Michael Sara going to be in 8th. The number 27 still battling for top 3 in best of the rest. Tommy Fox going to fire off from the 10th position. Joining him on that row will be Rick Modric, another best of the rest candidate. So keep an eye on the 8 and 9 of Sara and Modric as they are in battle with each other. Justin Malarkey, the number 73 Folcom driver, going to be in 11th. Jake Johnson, another best of the rest candidate, going to be starting from the 12th position. And Jared Kelly, leading best of the rest at the moment, firing off from the 13th position.
Looking through the rest of the field, we see David Owen starting in 14th. Then we got Kevin Kyle, playoff driver, starting alongside Nick Mills. Another playoff driver, Jax Duvall, starting alongside J.C. Bennett. If we go further back in the field, we see starting in 19th place is going to be Tim Darby. He'll start alongside Paul Ferdiani. Next row has Sam Milliken and playoff driver Kyle Lynott. Then we see Eric Gambrell, Jerry Rose on row number 12. Those are the last 2 to put down a lap time. Then we get the guys that didn't get the chance to put in laps. We see, looking on back there, you see, of course, Jose Medina and Todd Dunn. I believe that's everybody. Yeah, 26. I'm so used to seeing so many more people. 26, it feels like such a little number.
26 to me is the golden number. 26, 28, that's a field I really love. Caution's still on the board with that field, but wide open racing. Drivers are rolling. You think we got time for a Larry Mack shout out?
Oh, yeah.
Good morning, everybody. Larry McReynolds here with NASCAR and Fox. You know, America's crew chief. Welcome to the Bonfire Premier Cup Series. You know the deal. All right, all right, all right. Drivers, start your engines. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go iRacing.
Thank you, Larry Mack, America's crew chief, giving us the personalized shout out. Speaking of shout out Jason Landry. He is the SimRacingNation.com Poll Award winner Landry with yet another Poll Award winning performance. Looking for his 8th win here today at Bristol, but hard chargers like David Owens and Joe Vulpes going to have something to say about that. Also, you can see Garrett Austin on the inside. Lots of speed from him. Mark Dumont looking to put his name up on the winner's table. And Wayne Newman, Rick Mandela. Lots of speed up in the front. We're going to see how their right front tires treat them, though, as we make our way around. Pace car turns off the track. Keeping an eye out on that flag man. Jason Landry has control. Away we go. Jason Landry across the start-finish line in first on the inside lane. Garrett Austin following him, forces Vulpes and Dumont up high. Garrett Austin into second. Vulpes behind him. Mandela, Dumont battling side by side behind them. And then you can see behind all those cars starting to spread out. Good start here early at Bristol Motor Speedway. Jason Landry leading lap number 1.
Yep, you can see these guys trying to start themselves out throughout the field. Landry did a good job getting away. Same with Garrett Austin. And then it's a bit of a stack up further on back. Joe Vulpes got Mark Dumont right behind him. Those guys run a little bit faster than the group behind them, which includes Wayne Newman and Ricky Mandela battling for 5th.
Newman Mandela having a great battle there. Mandela dives down low, gonna hold the line. Ends up taking that place away, but Newman not going anywhere. Behind them, David Brenner as well. The three black cars having a great battle for 5, 6, and 7. And now Mandela starting to close that gap on Dumont just ahead of him. First not black car in that line looks like Sarah. And oh, here we go. Tommy Fox, Jake Johnson, David Owens having a good time with behind the 31 of Kevin Kyle. Tommy riding it. Oh, and we're getting loose. David Owens said, I don't believe in magic, and sends Johnson into the infield wall.
No caution for that either. He's going to have to get it going again here as you see him rolling, just limping around the track right now with all that damage. We'll see if he's able to get it going again, though.
Florida Man Racing not happy as one of their 4 drivers into the infield wall, keeps trying to run it around. Landry drives through the smoke of that wreck. Still looking good. That number 56 leading here on lap number 8 of the EuroSpeed 250 live from Bristol Motor Speedway. There's Justin Malarkey doing battle with Jared Kelly. Kelly has to let off just a little bit. But, Joe, that was really impressive. Kelly was below him and looked like he had better exit speed as well. Is that just the skill of Kelly, or does Kelly hate that front right tire?
Yeah, we'll see how it goes as the run goes on, right? It's going to be hard to tell, only on lap 10. We're going to have to wait until we're, 15, 20, 30, 40 laps into a run to really tell what that right front's going to do.
Ooh, Tommy Fox off speed. Oh, gets caught up with Gambrel. Now Fox into the wall. Milliken rolling. Darby says, let me touch you on the no-no. Looks like we want to stay green. Who's that? Is that Kevin Kyle involved? That's Sam Milliken.
Definitely a caution. Yeah, caution
as well. Caution comes out. Looked like Tommy was off the pace, and the 46 of Gambrel went below. Slight contact there. Tommy definitely on the worst end of that. And there she blows. Caution brings out the siren. First caution of the day here on lap number 12. Cautions, of course, brought to you by, I know you at home don't know, but guess what? Todd Dunn. He didn't cause it, but he paid for it. Thank you, Todd. Woo. Poor Tommy. He is not looking happy. Gambrel as well coming into the pit.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a problem for those boys.
What do you think, Johnny? You got something for us?
I think I got it. All right, so here you go. So he's coming out of the turn, and it looks like his left front starts going a little more down. He tries to correct it, bounced off Gambrel, hits the wall. That's when he starts going off pace. He has it kind of, but then just a mix-up right there with the 17.
Who's that, Lynott, Milliken?
Lynott. Yeah, that's Lynott, Ferdiani, and Milliken. So he tries to avoid it, and then they all go down, and it just becomes a little bit of cluster. Jerry Rose is there. Tim Darby just get clips. I think the 54 and the 72 also get a little bit of contact with each other. Oh, no, I don't think so. But they're a little bit of everything.
So cars in the pit. And what do you think, Joe? You want to take this opportunity to give a little bit of love to a sponsor?
Sure, we can. Let's run an ad.
Here at KK Woodscapes, we only work with the finest woods, the finest tools. We sand the wood here at KK Woodscapes. We stir the paint with a wooden stick here at KK Woodscapes. And then we brush the wood with a wooden brush here at KK Woodscapes. And when it's all said and done, we have these perfectly manicured nails. Put the plaques in the trophies, in the envelopes, ship them to your box, and on your way to you to commemorate your special day. Got wood, KK Woodscapes.
AK Woodscapes, those trophies are good for multiple occasions. Speaking of multiple cars caught in that accident, making our way around. Top 20 drivers choosing to stay out. Caution is going to come on lap 100 to end the stage, and they should have enough fuel to make on lap 60, so they should be able to make it. Okay, Landry off. Oh, Garrett Austin gets a little loose there. at the beginning, kind of gets into Vulpes and Mandela. And now we got a spinner coming out of the turn as well. Oh, Garrett Austin, he spun his tires.
Oh, no.
And never really recovered there.
Oh, pace car.
The pace car just drove right through Mark Dumont. Oh, no. Oh, no. Looks like the 08 of Wayne Newman also caught up into that. Yeah, I think that started right on the restart. The 87 of Austin just didn't get going. And that's going to bring out our second caution of the day. And once again, the siren, because Todd Dunn sponsors these cautions. What do you think, Johnny? Did you get that one?
I got that one. No. All right, so here we go. Then we're looking at the 14 of Dumont. Taps a little bit on Austin, and then just, yeah, with how these cars are, just lost control real quick. And just, everybody kind of, thankfully he stopped right there, but could have been a lot worse.
Here's excitement. Oh. What?
That pace car is just so invincible.
Yep. Wow. So few cars caught up in that. Now remember, the top 20 did not pit on that first caution. The rest of those guys coming down for repair damages only, because they do have enough fuel to make it to lap 60 without pitting. It's all about tires. You got one set on the car. You got 4 in the pits waiting for you. Of course, you want to save some for that possible 25-30 lap shootout if it comes down, but other than that, you're looking at 2 stops for fuel. We'll see exactly how that's going to work out. 250 laps scheduled for today. Top 17 staying out. Kevin Kyle did pit back on lap number 1. What in the world? And Dumont now in there on 17. Looks like Newman, Gambrill, Rose in there getting some work done. Second pit stop for both Gambrill and Rose, so the Pony Up boys damage to their car. Behind them, Newman, Milliken in there for their first visit. Tommy Fox, I think he's rolling again. Jake Johnson
out of the race.
Still in the pit, and nope, Tommy's only rolling to the trailer because he's going to park it.
So to get your to understand why Kevin Kyle's showing a pit stop on lap 0 for you there, Mean Gene, it's because he started the race from the pits. That's why.
You know, that is a strategy. So that's what happened. All right, Landry Vulpes, front row, pace car out of the way. Away we go. Landry with a great jump. Vulpes goes with him. Garrett Austin with a good start, this time on the outside behind Vulpes. Kind of cuts off the front nose of Mandela. Mandela taps the brakes. No problems there. Michael Serra in 5th. Behind him, you can see Brenner with a run. And then a little bit of side-by-side with Jared Kelly, David Owens, and Rick Modric. Look at Owens wrapping the outside lane. That 8, always a fast car when he shows. Round of 12, David Owens won the race that he did appear in, missed the next 2. So when he appears, this guy is as fast as anybody on this track.
Yeah, he is. Getting it done right now on the high line. Really trying to work in that high line. Not a lot of grip up there, though, at the moment. And we'll see if he's able to keep the tires on it running that high line. You can see behind him Justin Malarkey doing the same thing. Those guys flirting with it early. Need to get the rubber up there, though, I think, to get it to work.
Yeah, you know, racing ain't like real life. In racing, you need rubber to get trophies. So Owens needs to let that develop so that he can get a little faster line. But he's the first guy doing it, Joe. Look at him. He's starting to put the rubber on that outside lane.
Oh.
And he might not maintain the speed, but he sure has great exit speed coming out of those turns. Meanwhile, looks like, is that Kevin Kyle? Oh,
No
Gamble
caution.
going to sneak in below him.
No caution.
Oh,
What
you
happened?
Yeah, back that up for us, Johnny. See if you can catch that. I hear Rose on the radio and Kevin Kyle silent, so I'm going to get an idea. It might have been Chrome Dome. Could have been part of that foolishness. Racing going on up front. Kevin Kyle back up to speed now. Yeah, you look at Rose he's looking at the ground. He's not looking around. I think that's
Okay,
the look
found
of a
it.
guilty man. You want to go side by side, see what we get?
So right there's a little tap, and then just sends Kevin Kyle sliding out the rear end.
Yeah. It's not how you make friends, buddy. Oh, gosh, and he caught up the guy behind him, too.
That was Wayne Newman. Oh!
Oh!
Wayne Newman. Oh, no.
Poor
Oh,
Wayne.
Jeez.
Oh, I think he tried to avoid it. Probably braked a little too hard.
Yeah.
Caused the car to go to left, and then just...
Oh, we have a wreck
Oh, I
going
think
on the left on live TV. Oh, we got a caution.
All right, yeah. Yeah, so Modric and maybe Nick Mills is what I'm seeing. So that is going to bring out a caution. So Kevin Kyle going to be glad to see that, as he did go 2 laps down. That'll maybe let him get it back. Third caution of the day. Brings the siren. Thank you, Todd Dunn. Up front, running order still the same as Landry, Vulpes, Garrett, Austin, Mandela holding suit. Jared Kelly up 8 spots into the number 5 position. Great run for the double nickel. He's in quest of that best of the rest championship, and this is the way to make it happen. We've seen Kelly run in top 3 multiple times, so no surprise here. Kevin Kyle makes his way around the outside lane. He is the lucky dog, so maybe he only hates Chrome Dome half as much now as he did before that caution. What you got, Johnny?
Thankfully, no incidents. It just 71 got spun out, like a slight little tap. I think that was from Nick Mills. Slightly tapped Lanat. And then, oh, so close right there, but he stopped it. So I don't think anybody got as much damage as... Oh, never mind. Never mind.
Was that Todd?
That was Todd Dunn.
Coors Light 72 taking a hard whack in the wall, trying to avoid Modric. Modric does go around after the contact with the 20 of Nick Mills, but now manages to hold on and get that car rolling once again. Imagine, though, Modric going to need to bring that 71 down for a visit. Only a few cars in the pit, no surprise here. The Pony Up boys of Rose and Gambrel down there, as well as the 08 of Newman. Rose bringing it up. You know, Joe, the good part about that car being black is it's not going to turn black after 10 laps of riding in the rear. So good job there on the paint scheme change by the 51. Keeps that same sponsor, though. Maybe they give him free breadsticks when he goes to the Italian restaurant. There's Kevin Kyle giving the bird to the 51 as he drives by, so I don't think he's still happy. Now Rose is going to start right in front of the 31. Good times. Keep an eye on those guys, Johnny. Up front, Garrett Austin now in third with Rick Mandela. They're right behind that front row of Landry and Vulpes. These two guys, the ones we're probably going to watch the way this thing has gone. They've had great restarts and hold their speed pretty well. Great start there by Landry. Vulpes kind of slow. Brings Austin with him. Austin uses the apron to take over the second place from Vulpes. Vulpes back down on the apron. Gonna keep that third position. Austin pushing very hard now, trying to keep up with Landry. Vulpes and Kelly let them fade. Behind them, 2 wide. Owens with Mandela. Owens rides the apron, gets ahead of Mandela. Michael Sara behind them. Malarkey, JZ Bennett, David Brenner going to round out your top 10. Let Kyle Lanat still try to make that outside work. Backs off of Nick Mills, but he and Owens trying to make that top work. What do you think? Is this a Gulf Coast putting rubber on the track situation here at Smokin' Joe?
Yeah, they might be trying to do that in order to get that high line working. You know, you can see Kyle not trying to make up spots here on the high line. Looks like he's got it rolling a little bit right now, but I'm just concerned it's going to eat up the tires too much.
We had a survey on the Vortex Racing Network. If you're not part of the VRN Discord, jump in. It's got a wish list, things you'd like to see, comments, and also polls sponsored by Kevin Kyle. One of them today was, who do you think will win this race? And Kyle Lanat came out on top of the VRN pole. And right now, Lynott making that outside work, currently in the 10th position, right behind JZ Bennett. Bennett and the 22 of Brenner using the bottom. Lynott, though, working the outside. Justin Malarkey, that's that number 73 Folcom driver with the red rims, blue, black, and yellow scheme. Going to get sideways. Michael Serra's going to tell him you can't drive like that. And Malarkey comes to a stop sideways on the apron, bringing out a caution. Wow, great camera work there as we see Malarkey go for a ride.
Tough break there for Malarkey. He was getting that outside working, but maybe just got a little bit too loose following just guys on the high side. Maybe just not enough rubber up there yet still.
Well, and it was his first times running up there. You're having to learn the different braking spot when you're trail braking in, also when you can get on it. You're outside, you think you can get on it a lot quicker, and all it takes is a little dirty air to change your perspective and also the angle of your car. Landry still up front. Garrett Austin did pass Vulpes on that last restart, so now it's Austin's time to start on the outside of row 1, and Vulpes is to start on the apron of row 2. Probably switch spots again. Rick Modric is your lucky dog, the 20th place car of Modric. Gonna zip around, get his spot back. Couple of guys coming into the pits. You can see the ignition point boys of Ferdiani and Medina rolling down there. The 13 of Todd Dunn, Justin Malarkey as well, and Kevin Kyle still trying to rub the stench of the 51 off of that left rear bumper. Looks like Modric also going to take a little bit of a stop after getting back his lucky dog. Might want to get a little bit of repair work done. Going to be tough on this short track and with the double pits. Joe, you're basically going all the way around the track to take a visit to the pit stall.
Yeah, you're not going to have a lot of seconds to really fix anything, so you got more than maybe 20-30 seconds of damage. You're going to have to get it done in more than one go.
Oh, look at Malarkey. Are those space aliens fixing his car? What is that?
Those are some very interesting. Let's see if we can get it too late. He's already pulled out.
Hey, let's go 3 wide with Kevin Kyle and Jose Medina. Malarkey did get out ahead of that. A little 3 wide race, and okay. And Kevin Kyle and Medina having a good time. Couple of playoff drivers. Meanwhile, Jason Landry getting a good look on the inside of the pace car. Just wanted to see what the left side looked like. We do have female pace car drivers. Maybe Landry's trying to flirt. I don't think she's into French Canadians, though, Jason, so maybe next time. Landry on the inside now as Garrett Austin going to pull up next to him on the front row. Joe Vulpes and the double nickel, Jared Kelly. Second row, David Owens and Rick Mandela Sr. on the third row. Michael Sara joined by J.C. Bennett. Kyle Lynott, David Brenner, Gulf Coast on the fifth row. About to go green, waiting for the pace car to get off the track. There she goes. Landry into the restart zone, and a good start by Landry. Garrett Austin stayed with him, going to get ahead of the 11, back down on the apron. Landry, Austin, Vulpes, top 3. Jared Kelly. This guy was making the outside work early. Owens put more rubber on it. Kelly trying to take a peek around Vulpes, gets a little loose, holds his position, and David Owens is going to go side by side with Kelly. Kelly committed now to the outside lane as Owens is right there on his left front. Nowhere for Kelly to go. Finally gets momentum, falls into line. Outside lane did not work for the double nickel that time.
Yeah, he's going to fall backwards here, and now back to the bottom for him. We can see somebody else, another double number, the 00, going to try and use that outside to get around Mandela for 6th. We'll see if he's able to stick it a little bit better.
Early in the race, outside lane, wiggle, wiggle. Mr. Tickle, J.Z. Bennett having problems there. David Brenner underneath him. Bennett with good exit speed. So these fellas making their first venture into the outside, not having great success. Really shows the veteran skill of Owens and Lynott doing it when it wasn't in a battle, so they did not move backwards, but they got a lot of much-needed experience on how the car is going to react on that high line. Everybody single file back to Dumont and Lynott in 11th and 12th. Looks like those two guys doing battle, and here he goes again. Lynott has a feel for the outside lane,
Hey.
got the momentum, but Dumont with a great job on that apron. So Lynott, not enough rubber for him to really get that entrance speed that he's looking for. Exit speed does appear to be there, but not the exit speed.
Uh-oh.
Now he's got Duval at his quarter. No, Malarkey again. Who got him this time?
I have to
I don't think
go to Johnny and find
anybody.
out.
Was it you, Johnny?
I threw a banana peel out earlier.
I
but
was
I don't know
wondering
where it
where
went.
that went.
Okay, I found it. I got it. Not the banana peel. I found what happened.
Oh, the banana peel's up under the tire well of the 73.
Looks just hard racing. Probably went on the accelerator, as you said earlier. It's too soon, and luckily nobody got hit there.
Ooh.
But I think the caution was out because he came up.
There might have
I
been
don't
there,
know,
there might
actually.
have been another incident a little further forward. I did hear something on the radio about another incident further forward, maybe with something around the 84 car. Did hear him say something happened around him, potentially.
So outside lane causing issues for lots of drivers. Not enough rubber on the outside to give you the entrance that you would
I saw
like. And
there
if
was
you get
something
on the
else.
throttle a little too soon, you can see that rear
Maybe the
end just
31
comes
car.
right around, and you end up on that apron pointed in the wrong direction. That time the 73 caught up, no contact, so
Maybe
the
I'm
car
crazy.
is fine, but you do have to wonder about the tires as they are not made to go sideways. Meanwhile, Kevin Kyle gets back the second lap. That's going to put Kevin Kyle back on the lead lap. So good work there for the 31 after he got spun and no caution came out. So playoff driver Kevin Kyle back on the lead lap as we are under caution here on lap number 56. Now, the stage caution's coming soon, isn't it, Smokin' Joe?
Yeah, we're just past halfway in the stage. We're gonna have 44 to go this time around. So we go up front and see if those pace lights are going out or not, and they are. So when we go back racing, we're gonna have 43 laps left in the stage.
Now, you can see right now the top 10 cars have not pitted. First car that has pitted is Rose in 11th, but those were damage repairs, not tires. Ferdiani pitted on lap number 43, but that also looked like just tires. Just fuel. So I think everybody's trying to save their tires as long as they can here at Bristol. Only 4 in the pit, so you'd love to have a spare set if things get tricky on a late in the race. Jason Landry, away he goes. Inside lane does a better job. Vulpes hugging the apron, but Austin around. Austin, he picks up Rick Mandela, Michael Sara. Here comes Ferdiani looking like Miley Cyrus. Oh, Gambrel gets a Bennett hit Gambrel. Gambrel hit Austin. Wow, that's what we call a combo. Duval facing the wrong way. Wow, great combo shot there by Jay-Z Bennett.
It's going to be a lot to unpack there and what just happened.
Bennett put the 87 in the corner pocket, but it was a combo off the 46. I've seen that in pro pool tournaments. So looked like
I have it ready.
maybe Vulpes
ready.
got into the rear of Austin.
We're gonna go slow-mo because that's a lot to unpack there.
All right. So David Owens is telling Vulpes wreck him. You can see him giving the command.
Yeah, just a slight tap got him to turn. Then obviously everybody's coming out of the turn. No one's really expecting it. 3:27.
Another T-bone. Wow. Austin got eaten twice. Oh,
Like
and look
Kelly
at
had got
Freddie
hit too,
Annie.
trying to.
Oh, Jared Kelly got hit
T-bone
up
3
further.
times.
Yep, there's Duval
4.
getting involved. Oh, and the double
25 just
zero
got hit in
gets
the back.
25. Yep.
Almost another T-bone. 4 T-bones bites taken out of Austin. What is Rose Park down there on the apron? What are you doing? Oh, I see. Somebody was in front of him.
Yeah, and then 55.
He was just parked. I'm like, you are not helping. He's cutting that lane off.
So he avoided it, but it looks like right here, who is that?
Nick Mills.
22.
20 and Nick Mills. That's that car. Oh, big
Yeah,
hit.
the 20 hit him.
Oh, I see. And Rose didn't want to do the usual and just cannonball, so he slowed down. Good for him. He's learning. Oh, Medina almost killed him.
I got Duval.
Jared got Duval, yeah. Oof. A lot of big messes.
Wow.
25, I don't think was driving straight. He got into somebody earlier.
Big one. Big one here on lap number 61. Collecting a lot of folks. Lots that we just unraveled there. Gonna monitor this. Up front, new names. We see Landry and now David Owens joining him. Second row, Vulpes Brenner. Third row, Jerry Rose, Kyle Lynott. Away we go. Landry with a good start. Going to get the preferred lane. David Owens falls in line behind him. Vulpes on the apron. Look at Owens up around the top, trying to threaten Landry. Owens has run the top line. He knows the speed of it. Gets through, almost touches Landry. Then David Owens going to take over the lead. Owens, Landry, Vulpes, Gulf Coast Brenner, Lynott, Dumont 7, Rose 8, Kyle 9, Kyle 8, Sarah 9, Jose Medina 10. But the story, Joe, how about Owens zipping around that outside lane? That's why you practice when it doesn't matter, so that you can capitalize when it does.
Yeah, did a great job there getting around him. Now that he's leading, though, you'd think he'd start moving back down to the bottom, make sure he tries to save those tires, but he's still running the second line, and it looks like it's letting Landry get back to him.
Yeah, Jason Landry, this guy, just a pro, 7 wins on the year, took the pole here today. It's going to take a special effort by whomever challenges the 56, especially on a smaller track like this. Super Speedways, different animal indeed, as it opens the door, the margin of error much greater, that you could still succeed. Here, though, no margin of error. And now Owens running that high line might be called a mistake by some, like Smokin' Joe, and that allows Landry to get back into that lead position. But Owens led some laps, got those points, and most importantly, hey, he got that airtime.
Yeah, it did lead some laps there, but now the lead's back in the hands of Jason Landry.
Owens around.
Uh-oh.
Owens around. That looks like the outside lane bit him like a viper, making it work at the beginning, bites him at the end. Owens off the pace, and we are under caution once again. Oh, David, I gave him the broadcaster jinx. Ugh.
Yeah, the outside line just not working the way that he wanted it to right there at all.
Jax Duvall already into the pits, getting that car looked at. Jared Kelly, Rick Mandela, Nick Mills, Garrett Austin. Pits are open and business is good. As you can see, plenty of people wanting to get their car looked at. Gambrel again. There's Nick Mills and Garrett Austin getting it looked at. Meanwhile, Rick Motrick going to be the lucky dog. Still 3 laps down is Modric, so he's got some climbing to do to get back into contention. Top 12 cars stay out. Behind them, pit stops galore. Landry and Vulpes being shown 1 and 2. David Brenner going to move up into the top 3. Gulf Coast teammate Kyle Lynott behind him. Kyle Lynott up 18 spots. So the Coloradian making a good run here today. And remember, this was the VRN fan pick to win here today. Lynott up 18 spots. Looking good in that 4th position. Behind him, Mark Dumont. Dumont with a great qualifying effort. Got through a couple of scary wrecks to hold that position. The French Canadian has to be thrilled. Behind them, best friends, Jerry Rose and Kevin Kyle. Remember, Rose spun Kyle, put him 2 laps down. Kevin Kyle has battled back through the cautions, lucky dog twice. And now the 51 and the 31 will be side by side. Behind them, Jose Medina, playoff driver, needing a win after the 25th place finish last week at Darlington. Right now, the 54 ignition point driver in a good spot to strike, but so much speed on that front row. Medina's going to need to cut through here very quickly to get a chance. Got his teammate next to him right there, the 55 of Jared Kelly. Kelly in his own battle. Rick Mandela. Here's Nick Mills making things really interesting. Going to hit the brakes right in front of the 13 of Tim Darby. Pace car has the lights off. Jason Landry is your control car. Vulpes outside of him. Gulf Coast second row, and then a couple of wild cards with Dumont and Rose in row 3. Landry rolls into the restart zone. 3, 2, 1, away we go. Great start. Vulpes trying to stay with him on the outside. David Brenner on the inside. Vulpes gets clear. Brenner going to hold the second position. Single file, Landry, Vulpes, Brenner. Dumont in 4th. Looks like Kyle Lynott fell behind him. Rose in 6th. Kyle 7. Jared Kelly falling back into 8th. Tough start. Restart there for the double nickel, as now Medina and Mills get very close. Mills, that car doesn't look healthy, not going as fast as I've seen him before. Did Mills get caught up in something, Joe?
Yeah, you remember he T-boned that 55 car a little bit earlier. It looks like we're checking up. We might have another wreck.
Oh no, who is this?
Tim Darby is who it's showing me on the data is off the pace.
Oh no, Tim Darby. I think maybe the 46 got into him. Looks like Todd Dunn as well. Oh no, maybe he caused it and paid for it. We'll have to keep an eye on Johnny. This is a big moment, Johnny. All season long, I've not been able to say he caused it and he paid for it. Is this the moment?
Let's find out together.
Let's find out together. I love it.
I'll tell you that. But no, he didn't.
But no, he didn't. The streak maintains. He didn't cause it, but he did pay for it.
So we have a 13 and a 25 right there.
Hey.
And the 25 gave him a little tap.
Wow.
And then everybody's going around him.
Oof.
But yeah, not Todd Dunn. Not yet.
So Eric Gambrell with the contact there. Gambrell, he is 5 laps down in 21st, but going for the win right there. I thought he was going to take it, Joe.
You never know. You never know.
Yeah. You know, you can't win if you don't try. Speaking of winning, this guy, plenty familiar with winning, has led 74 of the 79 laps here today. Jason Landry still up front. Joe Vulpes, though, that 11's not going anywhere. And Joe is second in points as well. So these two guys, probably the biggest rivals in this field of 8, and they are running 1 and 2. David Brenner behind them, Gulf Coast driver. Mark Dumont moved up into 4th on that restart. So the French Canadian is looking to improve upon his starting position. Behind him, Coloradian and fan favorite Kyle Lynott, the 988, taking over the 5th place. He's up 17 spots into that position. Fastest mover on the track right behind him, Jerry Rose, up 18 spots. And what lap are we on? That guy is still on the lead lap at lap 80. That's pretty good. Behind him, Kevin Kyle running in 7th, the number 31 Focum Simon Destroy factory driver. Going to be on the inside right behind Lynott. Jose Medina starting on the same row there, 4th row with Kevin Kyle. Lights are off the pace car, waiting to see that thing get out of the way so we can go back to racing. Yeah, this thing is going to get pretty exciting, I think, as these cars starting to vie for position. 20 laps to go until that stage break. Drivers like Kevin Kyle Lynott, they really got to get through here. Medina as well. Away we go. Little checkup on that outside lane. Slows the roll of those cars. Landry going to get clear. Volpus riding high. You can see got over second. Brenner and Dumont very close. Dumont trying to make the outside work. Brenner hugging the apron. Going to hold his position. Dumont's first venture up into the high line. Still trying to figure out how to roll the top. Dumont now fades back into Kyle Lynott's lane. Lynott, he will go high as well, but right now content to ride around in 5th behind Dumont. Kevin Kyle, the next car, and then Rose. Bennett now moving up into 8th. Malarkey side by side with Medina. So still battling, especially that's for those last 2 spots getting stage points. You can imagine the gambler, Paul Ferdiani, in 11th, right behind them, would get aggressive with Malarkey, but Ferdiani and Medina teammates, I don't think we're going to see the 33 and the 54 get too rough with each other.
No, especially when Jose Medina needs to get as many points as he can get his hands on. You could see Jason Landry, of course, in green since he locked himself in last week with the win and started tonight. And then you can see 3 drivers trying to get into the other spots for the championship for also in front of Medina right now. So any stage points he can get is going to be very crucial for him.
Good racing now. Kyle having a good run there with Mark Dumont. You can see just how close those 2 guys are to each other as well.
Oh, I think Dumont had an issue.
Oh, no. Dumont sideways.
Oh. No caution.
No caution.
The Frenchman.
Is he going to tow it?
He towed.
Oh, very unfortunate for our neighbor to the north as the 14 ends up in the pits. That's going to put Kevin Kyle up into 5th, though. So the Sim and Destroy Racing driver, Team Focum member in 5th, needing points, tied for 3rd with Jax Duval. Going to be happy about his prospect of moving into the next round. Boys, next week, of course, we'll be racing at Las Vegas, but then the championship in Nashville. So you want to get a good result here before Vegas is, of course, no matter how dirty you get, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, unless we broadcast it on VRN. Landry up front, Volpus Brenner. No, it's that Owens going the wrong way.
David Owens, I think he went for a spin himself again. No caution for that either, but now he's the last car on the lead lap. I'm showing on the data in 17.
David Owens, another spin, holding on to where he is. Meanwhile, things getting a little spicier deep in it. You can see Lynott, Kyle, all these battles single file, but then go back to Rose and Bennett, and you start to see a little bit of action. Rose typically not in the front. Bennett probably wondering what that guy's doing in front of him. And with only 6 laps to go until the break. Oh, and once again, you could see the 51 giving the dirty air to Bennett. Bennett already spun out his teammate Gambrel. I don't think he'll hesitate on this one.
Yeah, look at that great run, though, going for Jerry Rose. 24th to 6th. Absolutely incredible seeing him run up front right now. Doing a great job in that car. Another guy that's done a great job recovering his way back to the front is Garrett Austin. Worked his way here up into 9th, getting around Jose Medina for that spot. Looks like after the unfortunate contact with Joe earlier in the race, he's been able to get it sorted out, got it moving forward again.
Landry up front with the 1-second lead over Joe Volpus. Brenner and Lynott battling with each other. Lynott looking high Now, teammates, you want to keep this as clean as you can. But on the other hand, Lynott needing playoff points as he's below the cut line. Kevin Kyle behind them. There it is to the quarter, to the door. Lynott, little bit of a diamond around that turn. Great exit speed. Gonna take that spot from his teammate. Stays up high. You can just see the entry speed is a little better down on that bottom as drivers still trying to figure out just how fast they can go. Lynott taking over the third position, Brenner, and now Kevin Kyle going to try the outside lane as well. Landry, here we go. Eric Gambrill, that slowed traffic. That's the 13 of Darby. Oh, Darby, nowhere to go.
That's your stage right there,
Ooh,
Mean Gene.
Little tap right there. So Darby's like, you know what? You just go around. I don't want that. Poor Tim getting pinballed there by the 46. And that is your stage. Congratulations to Jason Landry. Gonna take the first stage here today. That is his 6th stage win of the year. Still hunting the 8th win of the year. And Landry gonna lead the cars down pit road. Here comes Joe Volpus, who took 2nd. Lynott, who took 3rd. Brenner, who took 4th. Kevin Kyle, who took 5th. Rose, who took 6th. That's his first stage points. Medina is going to stay out. Medina's going to stay out. Interesting. Jay-Z Bennett took 7th in that stage. Austin took 8th. Okay, so Medina's staying out. That's a move. I guess he wants to lead some laps.
Yeah, so he stayed out, but it looks like a couple other guys stayed out as well. Nick Mills, see him still rolling out here, and Jax Duvall as well. Remember, we're still pacing here, so they could come pit this time if they really wanted to. Looks like Jose is going to stay out. Nick Mills, Jax Duvall are going to come down. So Jose going to be out on an island all by himself right here. Is the only one not to pit.
Medina last pit on lap number 60. It was an extended pit, 15.4. So I'm thinking Medina did take tires if he's bold enough to stay out here on lap number 100 after that stage break. Ahead of him, you can see Todd Dunn in the 72 and Jake Johnson in the 32, imagining that they are going to be drive-around candidates after we get to 1 to go. But Medina did make that play to lead laps, so he is going to be shown in that first position. Landry's going to join him on the front row, coming off of 4 freshies on lap number 102. Also getting tires and fuel, going to be Volpus and Kevin Kyle on the 3rd row. David Brenner and Justin Malarkey. Good pit stop there from Justin Malarkey as he moves up 4 spots on that pit cycle. Going to put himself up into 6th. Rose and Bennett are going to join him on the 4th row. And Ignition Point teammates Jared Kelly, Paul Ferdiani, going to be on the 5th row. We still have 17 cars on the lead. Nope, 16 cars on the lead lap. Garrett Austin being shown as the first car a lap down. He and Modric side by side battling with each other for that lucky dog candidacy. Both those guys, I believe, are 2 laps down. Well, that's not where you want to be. Jay Johnson getting the short end of the stick in that confusion. Medina brake checks the entire front row on the restart. Entire field had to hit the brakes. Well, that's some gamesmanship. Meanwhile, inside lane falling apart. Medina, Landry around the outside immediately on fresh tires. Joe Volpus, he did make a little contact on that checkup, but the 11 looks clean to me. Now he is into 2nd place. Medina 3rd, but look at the hot mess right behind Justin Malarkey. That gap, Kelly, Rose, there's Sara Ferdiani, all of that because of that checkup. And if you're Medina, that's something you needed to do, Joe. You knew your tires were weaker. You knew these cars were going to get by. If I was Medina, I've got a rear end about as wide as an 18-wheeler now, trying to not let anyone by me until a caution allows me to come in. Looks like Mandela and Modric back into the pits for whatever reason, whether it be damage or black flags, but in they go. Landry does finally get around Jake Johnson. Remember, Johnson part of that confusion of the wave arounds, so he's still rolling, but trouble in the 32. You can see now Malarkey with great speed in 5th. JZ Bennett, that is in 6th. He's on the right on his tail in that double lot. Medina now watching Jared Kelly go around the outside. Kelly with experience. Kelly gonna get pinched in there. Here's Rose as well. Can't get by Medina. Oh, this thing is just a mess waiting to happen. Now, Rose hasn't been on that top lane at all night. Oh, Medina cuts him off. Contact there by the 51 and the 54. Former teammates, but not going to give it up to him. Yeah, look at Lynott and Owens. Those are fast guys. Can't be happy. But right now, Medina doing a great job of blocking the entire road. That is for... Oh, maybe Rose has had enough. That was a tap. Lynott looking under the 51 now. Well, you want to talk about the outside. That's the 988. Wow. How far has the group in front of them gotten now? There it is. No, didn't spin him. Yeah, so you can see just how quickly Medina on the older tires has caused this gap in the field that the 51 I just don't think he's brave enough to go up high to get around him. Owens has no problem with that. He'll go up around high. Yeah, David says, this is how you do it, son. Wow. Yeah, it is. Medina not making it easy. Again, Medina on the lead lap, also a playoff driver. So Jose's fighting for his life here, trying to make it work. Did the Hail Mary to not hit on the stage break like the others. Owens finally gets clear. Here comes Kyle Lynott now looking around the outside. And Lynott finally makes the pass. Yeah, we're 23 laps into this run. I would imagine at some point the 51's tires are going to kind of fall into that same speed as the 54. So Medina did what he needed to do, only falls to 10th after not pitting there. So I think overall Medina has to be happy with his efforts, considering he did get points for leading the race.
No points for leading the race. No bonus points for that, Mean Gene. So,
well, I thought that was on Tuesday that didn't happen.
No, that's on Sundays that they don't have it. So, completely moot point really to stay out there. Cause
I don't know why he did it then.
Yeah, I'm really unsure why he would have stayed out. If we were coming down to the end of it, there's like 10 to go in the race, I would understand it. But staying out there really hurts his track position. Not his track position as in where he's running, like position-wise, but where he is in relation to the leader. He's almost half a lap down already at this point, and we're only 27 laps into the run.
Very painful indeed. Up front, Landry now with a half-second lead over Vulpes. Landry also 0.2 of a second faster than Vulpes that last lap. You can see, though, very close to each other on the camera. Behind Vulpes, David Brenner is about 1.5 seconds back. So top two guys really putting on a show as they make their way around lap traffic. David Brenner does have about a second lead over the fourth place car of Kevin Kyle. So Brenner kind of on his own here in the middle. Kyle crossed the start finish line right there, that number 31. Third in points and now fourth in today. So Kevin Kyle doing what it needs to be done to have a shot at advancing after Vegas next week and find his way into the Final Four. You know, Kevin was one of the Final Four championship drivers on the Monday Night Mayhem series just last year. So Kevin Kyle has just kind of grasped what this Cup car does in comparison to the O'Reilly's car or the truck or the ARCA. So really, I don't want to say this is Kevin's specialty, but he really has a knack for doing well in these.
We have a caution, I think. Oh no.
Oh, Ferdiani, Dunn, there's Jake Johnson, Brenner and Vulpes going to make their way through. Boy, Ferdiani hates that wall.
That's not good.
No, he hit it a couple times.
We're having a good green flag run there. Not sure what happened. I'm sure Johnny will be able to figure it out for us. Some serious parking lot on the backstretch right there, though.
Jax Duvall going to be the lucky dog making his way around the track right now. That will get him back on the lead lap. So Duvall very happy, and that will make us have 14 cars on the lead lap.
I have that ready. All right, so it's Gambrel gets tapped by the Bennett and just slides through it.
That's the second time Bennett's got Gambrel. That's crazy.
And then not right there.
Oh no!
Gets his car on two wheels.
That's some Dukes of
Medina
Hazzard.
right behind him.
Oh.
The 72 looks like he was avoiding it, but he ended up getting into the 33.
Oh. Yep. And now everybody comes up on stop signs.
I think that 25 car is toast there, Mean Gene.
Yeah, he's gotten, Bennett's gotten him a couple of times pretty good. I can hear Gambrel chirping on the radio. He's not pleased with the ignition point driver.
I think I see Lynott out of the race as well.
Oh no, fan favorite Kyle Lynott, most votes to win by the VRN fans on our poll. And now he has got serious damage. He's bringing it around. Going to see what the mechanics have to say about that 988 Ford.
There it is. That's the telltale. That car's done. Yep. They ain't working on it. That's a really tough break. That's our first playoff driver out of the race here today.
So, contact there between Bennett and Gambrel collects drivers, one of them being playoff driver Kyle Lynott. Up front, Jason Landry, Joe Vulpes on the front row. This has been a common theme all night long. Lionel Richie in the house. Pace car out of the way. Landry, Vulpes, front row. Brenner, Kyle, Rose, Bennett. Away we go. Landry with a good jump, but Vulpes gonna stay with him. Vulpes trying to roll that second lane, does so, falls into place in second. Little gap back to Brenner and Kyle, then Rose. Nick Mills still running strong in sixth. Jay-Z Bennett battling Jose Medina now. Medina did come into the pits to take tires, so he's going to have fresh tires. Medina and Mills on the freshest tires on the track. Already a gap. Medina looking around the outside of Rose. Gonna peek around. Rose lets him by. Oh, and look at Malarkey outside. There comes David Owens. Rose now a moving roadblock for Nick Mills. You don't want to play with Psycho because he'll door you.
Yeah,
there we
falling,
go.
Falling way back is Jerry Rose. As you can see, all these guys with fresher tires blow his doors off pretty much. JZ Bennett also going to get around him right here as well. Not the direction that 51 car wants to be heading. Just kind of wants to settle in, I think, at this point.
So what do you think? Is that a place where you take tires?
Yeah, it looks like some guys did take tires. We were talking about under that caution. Malarkey right now, the first guy coming through on the tires, up to 5th already. David Owens really ripping it behind him as well on freshies, along with Jose Medina with them as well. Those three right now, the first three coming up on those fresh tires. David Owens looks like he's pushing it really hard compared to Malarkey right now.
Top 4 did pit last on 102. David Owens now passing Malarkey. Owens, part of that group that pit on 133. Now Owens taking a look at Kevin Kyle. So top 3 did not pit, as did not JZ Bennett nor Rose. Those guys fading the wrong way. Neither did Duval as well. Duval running back in 13th. Landry, though, still looking strong. Last lap, 15.51. But Owens with that 15.43, a little faster than our leader. And on those fresher tires, if he can cut through this traffic, I think David Owens might reach Landry, and that'll be an interesting conversation. Again, all these guys are going to need to pit again. You can make it about 100. This thing, the EuroSpeed 250, scheduled for 250. So there's still a pit stop in everybody's future.
I wouldn't speak too soon about that there, Mean Gene. The way the fuel's been working here tonight, I think they might be able to make it on from that pit stop. I know,
from 134?
Yeah, I think they might be able to have just enough fuel to make it by about 4 or 5 laps. I think the tank's about 120 laps from what I've seen. So those boys might be good to make it. Those guys that last pitted on 102 are going to have a little bit of difficulty. They're going to have to save some fuel if they want to make it to the end. But those caution laps should be able to help them a little bit if they want to go that route. Or they could just hope for another caution.
Landry coming up on the lapped car of Jax Duval. Duval going to roll it up high, let the 56 go by. The 11 right behind him, also going to make it right through there. And David Owens continuing to attack. 15.69, 0.3 of a second faster than Landry and Vulpes. So as long as those tires maintain their integrity, I expect to see the 8 moving through the field pretty quickly. You can see a little off the pace after getting through the lap traffic, but still making progression faster than Landry. And now coming into the picture, there he is. There's Joe Vulpes. Really rode into that turn pretty hard, though, Joe. You could see how hard he had the turn on that exit. Not as smooth as he'd like. This turn looked a lot better. But Owen still has to be cautious. That once that temperature goes up, you're in a world of hurt.
Yeah, you got to be careful not to burn out that right front tire before the end of the race. If this thing goes green, we got just under 100 laps to go. You know, it's a very tough ask on tires here if you're wearing them out too hard, especially running the high line. Not a lot of rubber up there. He's just doing everything right now, I think, that's going to burn him out. So I'd be a little bit concerned about him on a long run.
Well, Owen's not thinking about a long run right now. He's just thinking about getting back into the lead. Owen's not in the round of 8, so he's just out here chasing trophies. Take a peek below former teammate Joe Vulpes. Gonna get on the apron. Vulpes, nothing to prove, lets him go. Vulpes is racing against Landry here for points, more so than Owens for just the trophy. But a win and you're in, so Vulpes not going to let those guys get too far ahead. But no need to get into a duel with David Owens on lap 157 over that second place spot. And if the lap times continue, Owens should be up around Landry here in the next couple of laps.
Yeah, you can see right here, if we go back to Landry and we look at these lap times that we've been running here recently, you can see him right there. Owen's been consistently faster over the last 5 laps. Last lap, Landry was a little bit faster. We'll see if it changes again this lap.
Yeah, I think that was when he went side by side with Vulpes. And there it is again. Look how hard Owens is on that right front tire coming out of the turn there. We've seen that a couple of times. David, a veteran driver, very aware of what a car can and cannot do. But boy, when you're just that close, when you can smell the exhaust of the leader, sometimes you push the car a little bit harder than you ought to. And I think that's the position Owens is in right now. He's got to find that balance between patience and aggression. And it's just so difficult, especially with a driver like Jason Landry in front of you. Todd Dunn now coming into the picture. The 72 going to ride up high, doesn't want anything to do with the leader battle. Good work there by the Coors Light 72. Owens, Landry make their way around. But now look at Landry. It seems like he's adjusted his speed. He's going a little faster than he was when he and Vulpes were dueling. I think he saw Owens recognize the threat, Joe, and he's just making it work. He's just adjusted for what's behind him.
Yeah, right now it looks like he's done a good job neutralizing Owens for the time being. That gap is no longer changing at a rapid amount. It's just kind of stagnated, and it's a good job here by Landry. He was able to hold on to it. My concern would be is how much fuel do these boys have compared to everybody else? Are they going to be able to save enough fuel to make it, or are they going to have to make an extra stop if this thing goes green? So Landry might have figured out a way to neutralize Owens for the time being, but got to worry about fuel.
And here's David Owens all up on him. Now, the 8 has practiced riding that top line, and he does have a little bit fresher tires. Side by side, gets to the door. Great battle. Mike Osara right in front of them. Gonna determine which lane opens up. Owens taps the wall a little bit, slows his... Owens almost into the back of the 27. Owens nowhere to go here. Not happy with the 27 as he's going to rub the rear end of the green car. Finally makes his way around. And now looks like Tim Darby hugs the bottom to not get involved in that. Ooh, tense moments with some lap drivers. Owens, no, he did not suffer fools easily.
Well, he's able to get clear there of Landry, though. But he's still sticking to this high line, and that's my concern still, is now as soon as he gets in the lead, you think he'd drop to the bottom this time once again. But here he shows again, he's just going to run this middle to high line. I don't think it's going to be a good thing for those tires.
That is one of the concerns here at Bristol. We've had a few cautions early on, but now that the crowd has thinned out from the accidents, and here we are, we've spread out deep into this run. We are 35 laps into this green flag run. All the cars equally spread out, so the caution becomes a smaller and smaller percentage. David Owens might have been banking on a caution coming out to justify his driving style, as it looks like Paul Ferdiani is going to be put a lap down there as well. So only 10 cars on the lead lap, Joe. These fellas are putting it to him.
Yeah, it's we just see a bunch of guys falling off the lead lap. Attrition rate always very high at Bristol, on top of the ability to get lapped very easily being shown in full force once again here today. We look through that field, right? Right now, the next guy that's a victim of going a lap down is Jerry Rose. He's right now currently about 4 seconds or so in front of the race leader. And if we look at his current lap times, he's about a 10.5 off per lap right now of the race leader. So not really going too far off the pace, but he's going to be at a point here where he's going to fall so far back that he's going to get lapped.
And remember, Rose was one of the cars that pitted on lap 102. So those tires much older than David Owens. So at some point, you're going to see those tires really fall apart. And then that's going to be a guy who regrets not pitting on 138 like those other drivers did. If you're Jason Landry, if you're Joe Vulpes, you could take the risk of not pitting But somebody like Rose or JZ Bennett running in ninth, those guys choosing to stay out, they are probably regretting it at this point as those tires starting to wear out and those slower lap times starting to appear. Bennett, though, much better shape as he's only 8-9 seconds behind the leader. But if you look at that last lap time for both those guys, that thing's clicking off.
You know, I'm listening to the outside of this 11 car. Now, let's go in the cockpit view because something sounds off. Uh-oh.
Is that fuel saving going on?
It looks like he's recognized that he's going to have to save some fuel in order to make it to the end. So he's got a lot of, you can see a lot of clutch and coasting going on there. So we'll see if the guy in front of him, Jason Landry, reacts to the same sort of strategy here soon. Because it doesn't look like he's going to have enough to get it back around Owens. But he's got to make sure he has enough fuel to make it to the end in case there's no caution.
One of the big problems at a short track is the caution versus aggression driving style. David Owens did pit on lap 133, so he doesn't have to save quite as much as Landry, who pitted on 102. Volpus recognizing that, slowing his pace, but Landry continues to stay on that throttle, battling with David Owens. Lap cars coming into the picture. Jake Johnson going to ride that outside. Here comes Jax Duvall, now in danger of going yet another lap down as well. Now, Volpus off the pace. Malarkey not having to worry about it as he did pit on 134. Zips right around the number 11 Animal House Custom Ford, and he will take over that third place. Volpus, though, still rolling, has about a 3-second lead over David Brenner behind him. So Volpus has a little bit of room out back, but gonna have to milk it if he thinks he's gonna push to haul those extra laps out of that car. We have had 2 cautions on this run to help, but again, stretching out from 102 all the way to 250 gonna be a chore for anybody. Duvall battling up here. Look at this, Joe. He does not want to go 6 laps down.
Yeah, right now trying to say actually 4 down and not go a 5th down, and I think the reason why is because he's on the same lap as Rick Modric at the time right now. So if a caution were to come out, him and Rick would be battling for another spot. And as we know, in order to advance through these rounds, every position matters. Speaking of positions, it looks like we got a car in pit road. Nick Mills going to make a pit stop here, taking 4 tires and fuel. He recognized he couldn't make it to the end, so he'll pit here early. Oh, Rose, I think he may have towed. I think he may be done.
Oh, now Rose did go a lap down as well, so the leaders did make their way by the 10th position car. Only 9 cars now on the lead lap. JZ Bennett would be next. He is 11 seconds behind the leader, which puts him, about 4 seconds ahead of them. So Bennett, last lap 16.45. So leader's 0.3 of a second faster than the ignition point driver. So he's going to start closing that gap relatively quickly, considering what the leader's doing.
Yeah, and Jared Kelly and Jose Medina both right in front of him as well. So those guys also in danger of going a lap down here pretty soon as well. Up further, half a lap down is where David Brenner, Kevin Kyle are at currently in 5th and 6th. Joe Volpus still saving fuel, falling a little bit further back now with Jerry Rose, who's in 10th place a lap down. And the guy that I'm looking at, though, Mean Gene, is Justin Malarkey. If we look at his lap times, he's been consistently faster than the 2 cars in front of him here. And he's slowly closing the gap. Got it down to now under 2 seconds here at this point. If he keeps up this pace, he will be there before the race ends.
Yeah, Justin Malarkey last week led the most laps at Darlington, so he's a short track guy. So no surprise that Malarkey having success here at Bristol. Malarkey, one of the guys that did pit on lap number 134, so should have the fuel to make it to the end. And right now, did a better job, I think, based on what the lap times are showing us, than David Owens of pushing the tires and heating them up. Owens does have the lead, is 0.4 of a second ahead of Landry, still but that gap to Malarkey right at around 2 seconds, and Malarkey about a tenth of a lap faster. So gonna see what Justin can do. That's that 73, trying to close the gap on our 2 leaders as Owens and the 56 of Landry continue to duel. Malarkey, there he is. He ducks under. Oh, Duval, though, not going to go away. Justin and Duval now having a good time with each other.
Yeah, that slowed him up that last lap. Lost about a tenth and a half. He got it down to about a second and a half, now back to 1.8 seconds. So Malarkey going to need to get it going in the right direction again if he wants to have a shot at it. Laps really starting to tick away, 53 to go now.
53 laps remaining here in the EuroSpeed 250 live on the Vortex Racing Network. 3 wide in the booth, Mean Gene, Money, Smokin' Joe, Johnny Replay, bringing you all the action. This is the Bonfire Premier Cup round of 8, second race in the round. Saw Landry win last week, and now on your screen, Jason Landry trying to repeat, but he's got David Owens ahead of him. 9 cars on the lead lap. The middle one there, Jay-Z Bennett in the double aught, and Jared Kelly, that's 9th and 8th place, trying to stay ahead of the leaders as Owens is bringing the heat. Behind them, lapped cars of Milliken and Modric. Michael Sara going high, getting out of the way, and lets Owens progress through. Landry stuck to him like white on rice. Rick Modric now in danger of going another lap down as Owens and Landry continue. Light touch from Landry. These two battling hard on lap 202, only 49 to go.
This is allowing Malarkey to close that gap once again. Now got it under a second and a half for the first time here on this run. Malarkey slowly closing in, but they keep battling with these lap cars and everything. It's going to make it easier and easier for Malarkey.
Gotta wonder now, at what point do Bennett or Rose think about pitting? They last pitted on 102, and now we're 100 laps into this run. Yeah, you've got the 2 cautions to help them, but with those those speeds as well, both of those guys about a tenth, 2 tenths off. Gotta wonder when they're going to finally start thinking about bringing it into the pits. I mean, clearly Landry not thinking about it because he's up at the front. I imagine he's going to run that thing dry, hoping for a pit caution.
Yeah, that looks to be a strategy right now. Maybe not too concerned with the fuel at the moment. Vulpes, of course, back 5 seconds. He fell off the pace in order to save what he needed. It looks like it's working in his favor because he's still got that 4.5 second advantage to everybody behind him. Look at this, though. Here goes Jay-Z Bennett a lap down, but he's not going to make it easy.
No, he's battling there on the outside. David Owens peeking down on the apron. Owens now bringing it up, slowed by Kelly, and that lets Bennett get back next to him again. Outside lane is Bennett. Owens into the back of Jared Kelly again. Double nickel trying to keep from going a lap down. Bennett gets around him. Kelly contact again with Owens. The 55 trying his best to do battle. That let Bennett put off the inevitable, but Owens now around Kelly. Kelly goes a lap down, 8 cars on the lead lap, and you can see Bennett, the next one, on David Owens' dance card.
Yeah, David almost had him a lap down just a few laps ago as well, if you notice. And look at that. It looks like Landry's fallen off the pace. Maybe he realized you got to save some fuel. He just let Malarkey go past him, and his pace has slowed down significantly here. Ran a 16.62. That's almost half a second off of what he was running before.
So maybe he just got the message from his crew. Regardless, that's going to put David Owens in the lead by 0.7 of a second over Justin Malarkey. Malarkey dealing with the lap traffic, slowing him, but he has finally made it way past Kelly, and now next car in front of Malarkey is David Owens. Jason Landry with Kelly between he and Malarkey. Those are teammates. Don't expect any kind of shenanigans between the two ignition point teammates. Landry, though, I think he's, like you said, in full conservation mode or praying for a caution that's going to give him that chance to zip down and get back on that lead lap or get back into contention to finish. Meanwhile, looks like, oh, what is happening down there?
Good description. You can
Wow,
see.
I'm watching. I'm waiting to see when the 51 is, or the double odd is going to pit, and I just watched Jay-Z. I think it was Jay-Z Bennett. Yeah, he doored the 51 to get by him. I was like, okay, that was something.
Jerry Rose still in the top 10, but he's now 2 laps down. This has been a really, really unproductive run for him in order to keep certain track. He's kept his position well, but not his track position. As now 2 laps down.
You know, he's wishing he'd have pitted on. You know, and that's the thing. I think drivers of a certain skill can kind of get away with it, but he pitted on 102. That caution was on 133. Only 31 laps were on his tires at that point. So I see the hesitation to pit, but now move forward to 216, over 100 laps on those tires. That 51 going straight backwards. And look at that. You can see he's falling back into the grips of Jason Landry there again. So I'm just wondering at what point does Bennett and Rose start thinking about those pits?
Well, you can see right there, Bennett just went a lap down to David Owens. Malarkey,
There he goes.
really close in the picture.
51 looks like he's doing it.
The 51 car, like you said, Jerry Rose making his... Oh, Jerry going really slow. Maybe had a mistake, may have missed pit road. Has to come back around and now is going to pit this time around.
Now, what happens if you go in the wrong pit? Do they bring you back through?
That would be a 40-second hold, I believe, if you go in the wrong pit lane.
So it's probably worth what we just witnessed.
Yes, because it would be considered an unsafe pit entry. So, like you were talking about, here's Malarkey and Owens, but yeah, I think it's safe to say the 56 is saving fuel because he's now 5 seconds back and only a second and a half in front of Volpus, who we know is saving fuel. And
there
it looks
comes
like
David
we got
Brenner.
Brenner down pit road. That's going to change some stuff up towards the top 5. That's going to only leave 6 cars on the lead lap.
All right, so David Owens now threatening to put Medina a lap down. Medina stuck behind the 84 of Duval. Owens trying to take a look. You remember how hard Medina made it on the drivers earlier. I think you can expect more out of the 54 as he's trying to stay on that lead lap.
Yeah, look at him. He's got to get around that 84. He gets that done, but now David Owens also does. So now it's a clear road, mano y mano, and I don't think Jose is going to have anything to hold him off with.
We're on lap number 225, 26 laps to go. Owens gets down on the apron, gets right by the 54, and he is going to now have 5 cars on the lead lap. Malarkey, little tap into the back of the 54. Meanwhile, Volpus and Landry now coming even. Both these cars last pit on 102. Landry new to the fuel-saving game, so I think Volpus has a little bit more fuel in the tank than Landry, and he's able to take advantage of that and sneak on by. Behind Landry, you can see the lap driver of Jared Kelly. Other drivers, looks like the 27 is off the pace.
Yep.
Oh, he gets into Kevin Kyle.
Oh, no. That's going to change everything. Oh, look out, Daryl. Oh, my God.
Medina and Malarkey having a good time. Oh, Sam Milliken gets into Malarkey. Looks like Bennett.
That's a big one. The caution was already out, I think, at that point.
You know who's a big loser on that one? Rose came in two laps down, got the tires, and then that occurs, pushing him 5 down. Oh, you should have taken tires on 133, pal.
Ooh, that's going to be a lot. That's a lot of damage to the 73, and he missed pit road on top of it. Here comes Owens and the rest of the lead lap. Yeah, he missed it. Owens and the other lead lap cars come down, though. Owens, Volpus, and Landry, the only other cars on the lead lap. Jared Kelly in 5th place is going to be your lucky dog here. and you can see the 73 really destroyed right now. I don't think he's going to be able to really fight for much anything. Jose Medina a lap down with a lot of damage. Looks like he's jumped to the pits. Tough break for Jose Medina and his playoff hopes. Kevin Kyle, we see him having some damage fixed, some tires taken. He's multiple laps down, not the day he wanted. Some other guys, Rick Modric, Duval, see Milliken, Mandela, all these guys down pit road. Let's go over to our boy Johnny Replay and see if he's got any of the chaos that just occurred.
I got it. So, yeah, it looks like the 31 was starting to come up. Probably thought it was clear and then just hits the 27. 27 drags him with him. And nothing too bad until here. See, they tried going up to the top.
Oh, wow. What is Medina doing? No.
Oh.
Where was he going? Go back. I got to see that again. Where was he going?
I'm going to assume he probably couldn't get to the left. He probably thought he couldn't get to the left. Yeah, went way too fast into this wreck area right here, and he couldn't get to the left, so he shot up to the right. I think is what happened.
Yeah, 'cause there's 2 cars down at the bottom, so he thinks going up should be easier.
Yeah. And Justin's like, I'm here. I'm here.
That's a lot of damage to those two. And gets Kevin Kyle as well.
Yeah, all three. All three of those guys got smacked.
Oh, and Tim
Darby
Darby gets hit.
Oh,
and JC Bennett. Oh, and Sam Milliken. Oh, my goodness.
Well, look at Duval. Like, not me this time.
Way to go, Duval. Good job, buddy.
Yep. Here comes Sara late to the party. Paul Ferdiani in the 33 late to the party.
What a time to be alive.
Wow. Well, I tell you what, man, you got to feel bad. Malarkey's still out on the track, but you know that car has suffered some damage. Malarkey is your lead car right now. David Owens, second row, Vulpes and Landry. Little bump from the 56 into the 8. Malarkey pulls off to get out of the way. David Owens going to take the lead outside lane. Inside lane, Joe Vulpes trying to ride that apron. Now Landry going to look high. Owens, Landry on the outside, side by side with Joe Vulpes. Vulpes with the speed on the apron, slides up ahead of the 56. Owens, last pitted on 130 on 229, as did the other top 4 cars, all on fresh tires. This is a shootout.
Yep, and these are the 3 cars that have the pace right now to win it. Jared Kelly got the lucky dog. He has the car fixed, but he's all the way 3 seconds back mired in lap traffic. And then Malarkey, of course, with all his damage, is just limping it to the finish. Look at this.
Vulpes going to take a peek down low. He's on the apron. Owens, veteran of the top lane, trying to make it work on the new tires. Holds the line, exit speed. Vulpes back down low on the apron. Owens maybe tapping the wall off the pace. And now it's Vulpes versus Landry with only 14 laps to go. Vulpes ahead of the points leader. These are the top 2 guys in points, battling all day long here today. And now it's his Vulpes' turn. He's got his Ford ahead of Landry's Toyota. We're counting him down, 13 to go.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be another battle. Just like last week, Landry was able to get the better of Vulpes later in the race. Joe making a big mistake that cost him a chance to battle Landry for the race win. We'll see what happens here down the stretch. Not a lot of laps left. Can Landry figure out a way to get that 11 car off the bottom?
That is the issue, because with the new tires, one would think dirty air and hugging the apron would allow Vulpes to hold on. It's going to take a bump and run. It's going to take a slide job. It's going to take an act of God to make it happen. Vulpes with a little wiggle, but manages to keep his forward momentum. Laps are ticking off for the top 2. Owens trying to close the gap, was quicker than the top 2, but he's got a big hill to climb and a 56 to get around before he could even think of the lead. Lap traffic coming into the picture. You see the 72 of Todd Dunn slowly backing up towards the leaders. 9 laps to go here in the EuroSpeed 250. Joe Vulpes looking to take the second win of this round. That would be great for him. Landry last week If Vulpes gets it here, he holds serve as these two drivers continue to duel. 8 laps remaining.
Yep, laps taken off here. 56 trying to find a way around the 11. Not able to get it done there. He might have to try a bump and run here with the laps running down, or try and do something different. Maybe get that high line rolling. We haven't seen Landry up there all night, but he might have to try it.
That's exactly what I was going to say. He does not have the experience, and you know that figuring out the entry speed is what makes or breaks you on that top line. It's so easy to get sideways and then have that rear end come right around on you regardless of throttle control on exit. Entry speed is the key here, and Landry, no experience on this track right now, riding that high line. He's forced to watch the bottom. There's Justin Malarkey going to go a lap down. Malarkey caught up in that big wreck with Jose Medina earlier, ending his chances at a win. Still only 1 lap down. The way this has worked, Malarkey's going to be happy with his final result. Okay, here's the 13 now. Tim Darby ahead of the leaders. Vulpes looking around the outside of him. Vulpes gets sideways, dirty air, in contact. Vulpes hits the inside wall. Not what he needed here today. Off the pace. Caution comes out. That 11's got a lot of damage.
Yeah, I don't think that car is going to be able to finish the race, and Landry's going to be able to sneak by all that chaos to take over the race lead for this next green-white checkered restart.
Gonna be a green-white checker restart. Landry and Owens made their way through it. The 11 of Vulpes, though, hard contact with the inside wall. It looked like he got a mouthful of dirty air off Darby. Then he spun and went right down into the infield. Massive damage to the 11. I thought he had the answer. I thought he cracked the code. And one of the things he didn't want to see was a lap driver off speed in front of him. Calamity here on lap number 248. Let's go over to Johnny. Johnny, you got her?
Got her. So I first watching it, I thought it was net code, but I think the movement might have been a factor too, because he doesn't touch him, but then that's when he starts losing the grip right there.
I mean, you're driving right through that dirty air. That is painful. Yeah, it is hard to keep that car stable right there. And oh yeah, you can see that 11 driving sideways right there. So the 11 trying to put in a couple of more laps, but I would imagine he's looking at a golden meatball.
For certain.
Five cars on the lead lap. Justin Malarkey did receive the lucky dog on that incident to stay on the lead lap. 3 laps down is going to be Bennett, Brenner, and Michael Sara. 4 laps down, Ferdiani. 5, Modric, and Rose. So none of these other guys really racing. Bennett, Brenner, and Sara should be racing for position, I believe.
Yeah, it looks like right now you got the top 3 that are pretty much battling for this race win. That's Landry, Owens, and Kelly, as Malarkey has a lot of damages in the back of the field. I think he just got the lucky dog, and Vulpes back there as well with all his car damage as well. So 3-car race for the race win here, Mean Gene.
And 2 of them teammates, Landry and Kelly, on the inside. Imagine we're not going to see shenanigans there. So all eyes on David Owen. He's on the outside. He's used to being there. Away we go. Great start by Ignition Point on the inside. Landry gets up into the preferred lane, gets the angle into turn number 1. Kelly Owens battling for second. Owens making the outside work the same way he's done all year long. Gets around Jared Kelly. Momentum going into 3 and 4, but it's Jason Landry on the apron, bringing it across into turn number 1. Great speed by Landry. David Owens cannot close the gap. Jason Landry, he's unbuttoning his helmet. He's taken off his gloves. He's taken off his shoes. because Jason Landry picks up his second win in the round of 8. Fireworks go off. Victory for the 56 here today at the EuroSpeed 250.
Able to get it done, make sure nobody else advances here today. We'll see how it all cycles out. I think the 11 may have gotten his laps discounted there, maybe showing him in 5th there, but I don't think that's where he's going to end up finishing.
Yeah, you can see it already. They're giving him the no sign. I think he's going to fall down into about 9th or 10th. We'll just have to wait and see how it's all going to end up. But big day for Ignition Point Racing. Jason Landry with another win. Both wins in the round of 8 so far. So going into Vegas, 3 spots still available for your playoff drivers. David Owens taking the win. David Owens has to be a question, Joe, of what could have been. If David could have made one more race in that round of 12, I think David Owens would be a name we're talking about to advance to the Final Four. But attendance took Zero Chill out of the picture, but that doesn't mean he ain't out here to win. Up 12 spots, David Owens to finish in second. Great run by Jared Kelly. This is another flex for him in his best of the rest quest for dominance. Justin Malarkey benefiting from those cautions. Gonna finish in 4th on the lead lap. And then here we go. Some caution guys. JZ Bennett gonna finish in 5th. David Brenner 3 laps down in 6th. Michael Sara gonna come home in 7th. Paul Ferdiani, only guy 4 laps down, brings it home in 8th. Joe Volpus, you were right. He got those last laps did not count, but he's going to come home in 9th ahead of Rick Modric and Jerry Rose, 10th and 11th. Both those guys 5 laps down. Duval going to finish 6 laps down in 12th. Rick Mandela, oh, those 2 guys in a playoff hunt, not going to be happy with a 12 and a 13. Milliken 7 laps down in 14th. Kevin Kyle in 15th, also a playoff driver. Now, some of these guys got caught up on that one accident that I think cost them 3 laps or so. So some of these are not reflective of what was happening and more reflective of just getting caught from those accidents. So rounding it off, you got Wayne Newman, Golden Octopus driver 16, Tim Darby 17, Jake Johnson 18, Jose Medina, again, not the finish he was looking for. Jose in a must-win next week at Las Vegas to advance to the championship 4. Todd Dunn going to come home in 20th, and then big jump in laps down to Nick Mills 21, Kyle Lynott 22, Gambrel 23, Garrett Austin. Oh, Garrett was so fast at the beginning, Joe. Not the way he wanted his end day to end. Same with Mark Dumont, such speed up there in that number 14, going to finish 25th. And poor Tommy, 5 laps of effort today by the 57.
Yeah, out of the race very early for him. Tough break again for Tommy Fox. Hopefully he's able to get this thing righted here in the next week or 2.
Yeah, you hate seeing it end just that quickly, but exactly what happened to Tommy here today. So, updated playoff points. You can see how it goes. Kyle and Duval were tied for that 3rd spot, but now opens up. Joe Volpus, 32 points behind Jason Landry, but this is just a survival mode. Make it to the round of 4, that championship race in just 2 weeks. Kevin Kyle, 14 points behind Volpus, going to be in 3rd. Duval, 3 points behind them, final driver on the cut line. And then here we go. Mandela, 11 back, gonna need stage points at Vegas and gonna need a strong finish ahead of Jax Duval. Kyle Lynott, 16 points behind, same position, maybe a stage win, and then well positioned ahead of Duval. Maybe he could do it, but Jose Medina, Joe, that's a must-win guy for sure. Almost feel that way about Lynott as well.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I think Lynott might have a chance if he wins the stage next week, and maybe Duval, Kevin Kyle don't get stage points. That's his hope. Otherwise, it's going to be a must-win for him as well. Jose
That
definitely a
is
must-win.
that is the one of the good things I feel about the win and you're in. I know NASCAR has gotten rid of it going ahead. As a fan, I'm glad they got rid of the win and you're in because I can't tell you how many races that I've been to that Joey Logano won the previous week, and I watch him drive around in 25th place because he's already advanced. So that will not be happening anymore. But as a driver, I know if I have back-to-back bad weeks, I still go into that cutoff race knowing if I do my usual, if I get the win, I'm going to advance. So it takes a little bit away of that pressure. Like Jose Medina is going to drive as well as he can, if not better, at Vegas next week looking for that win. Whereas if this was points only, Jose might be willing, ready to wrap it up. Now, Jose would never do that. He's a competitor. Anybody that knows him knows he wants to win every time he gets on the track. But that extra incentive of knowing if you win, you're in, that would be missing from the Cup next year. Luckily, not this year. Medina, Lynott, Mandela, all three of those guys going to be putting in laps this week going for that dub.
Yeah, we're going to see how it really plays out for these boys next week. Las Vegas, another 1.5-mile track. Very interested to see how it all plays out. We're going to see, looking at those lap counts, right? Lap 50 is pretty much where that stage is going to be, and I think we're going to have a clear picture of who needs to do what after that stage break caution on lap 50 next week.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I'm going to not wear shoes so I can do that math right here in the booth, live in front of the viewers at the house. Hey, I got a message from Jason Landry. Jason has sent us a message for the viewers at home, and here it goes. Quote, "Great result today. Was happy to lead for a long time, but Owens had the better strategy late in the race. I stuck with him as long as I could, hoping for a caution as I didn't have the fuel to finish. And at one point, it wasn't coming, so I backed out and saved." Landry continues, "The caution came out, so I took tire and fuels and came out fourth with Malarkey damaged up ahead. I tried to fight with Vulpes and Owens, but I couldn't get by on pace. Owens cleared a black flag and got up in the wall, and then a lap car got in the way of Vulpes, and he spun the tires coming out of the corners. That gifted me the win, but those two, I think, deserved it more than me today." Well, hey, you could just call them up and they'll take the win, I'm sure. Happy for the win, but I know they had better strategy. Landry finishes off by saying, "Thank you to my team. Another great result for Ignition Point Racing with Jared, JZ Bennett, and Paul all in the top 10. Stinks for Jose as the playoffs isn't looking good at this moment, but still one to go. Thank you for the broadcast and always, and see you at Las Vegas." See you at Vegas. Did he just offer to buy our buffet?
I mean, I'll take a buffet for free.
That's what I'm saying. You ever had one of those lobster and crab buffets, Joe? That is, oh man, I have made the drive from here to Mississippi just for the buffet.
Give it to me.
It's tough being a fat bald man. You know what I'm saying? You do what you gotta do. Great race here today, and I'll tell you what, it's all made possible because of you, the viewers at home. If you like what you're seeing, and I know you do because you're still here, make sure you hit subscribe on the button right there. Subscribe to the Vortex Racing Network. Keep up with the entire family of racing leagues. You can see right there our 2026 broadcast schedule. Monday night, we do the live double header. That's right, Monday Night Mayhem, the Moonlight Racing League's late night race. That's 11 o'clock Eastern, 10 o'clock Central. They are going to be heading into race number 3 next week. We saw Charlotte won by Colin Bollinger. We saw The Undertaker, Tony Iverson, win last week at Talladega. Let's just have another Final Four driver win it next week. Maybe it'll be Grant Applegate. You'll have to tune in 10 o'clock Central, 11 o'clock Eastern, Monday night. But also coming back soon, the DDI ARCA Series. That's live with the Hilltop Bullet Broadcasting ARCA Series action. always exciting as those cars are just straight magic. Tuesday, the Dennis Bucket Big Trucking Tuesday, that is a rebroadcast with yours truly, Mean Gene Money Smoking Joe. Zach Panzarella, my Monday night partner, going to join us on Tuesday as that series has had some amazing fields and loads of penalties handed down last week to try to clean up some of the back of that. You know, big fields cause big accidents sometimes, Joe.
Yeah, that's very true.
That's
is
a
so
thing.
true.
So admins doing their best, mentorship programs as well as just scoldings. And I think those are a whole lot more effective. Admins, David Buell, Matt Schofield doing their best to develop. And that's what we love here on the Bonfire Racing League is that development. When the founder, Dennis Puckett, put Bonfire together, he dubbed it a league for the rest of us. And that's always been the goal, is to make everybody better. And that's what we've seen. Big Truckin' Tuesday rebroadcast around 11 Eastern, sometimes midnight, depending on how late they keep Mean Gene at work. Wednesday, now this is a new monumental league, the MRL DDIRL Truck Series, merger of two leagues. And Joe, this thing, 57 drivers at Daytona, as we also saw all-stars from the Bonfire League show up as well. This is why we wanted Vortex, Joe. This is what we talked about, was putting everybody under one umbrella. And this is the first time we've really seen this thing come to fruition. 57 guys at Daytona. What do you think they're going to do next week? Where are they, Rockingham?
Yeah, we'll see how it all plays out. I'm sure they've been working on whatever's going to happen. I would expect an announcement in the next 24 to 36 hours about whatever the strategy is going to be going forward.
And we'll keep you informed about that. But the best way to find out, join the VRN Discord, where updates, announcements, fan voting, all of these things occurs on the VRN Discord, and you can join up and be on the inside and hear all of the official announcements even before we announce them here on the station. Thursday is coming soon, Quantum Contender Series. Kevin Kyle will be your anchor for that as we join a fourth league going to come into the family. Welcome, Quantum Contender Series. News about their schedule and highlights on our social media about their all-stars will be appearing. And then Sundays, of course, right here, the home of the Premier Cup Series. And we just saw Jason Landry take that win. Now, make sure you're subscribed so you can see all of the action here on Vortex Racing Network. And Joe, we got a special event coming up soon, don't we?
Yeah, we had that little promo video in the start. I don't have a still to show of it, which is very disappointing, but we'll work on getting a still to show for the drive for 500. So be on the lookout for the information on that. We're only a few weeks away. Valentine's Day is just about 2.5 weeks away, so be on the lookout for that event. It's going to be a great time at Daytona the day before the Daytona 500 on iRacing. Qualify your way into that big field there, Mean Gene, and have a great time. Win some great prizes in there as well. Still finalizing all that kind of stuff as well.
Drive for 500. We're driving to get 500 subscribers here on the Vortex Racing Network on YouTube. Green flag is going to be at 11 o'clock Eastern on February 14th. We have plenty of all-stars from all three of these leagues that have signed up. So sign up, get involved with this. This is to support you guys at home. The trophy for the winner of the drive for 500 is made by KK Woodscapes, and this thing is fantastic. Joe, it's got wood, it's got fabric, it's got lights and smoke. This is something you're going to want to put on the mantle and show off and brag. Winning a full-length race at Daytona, sponsored by the Vortex Racing Network and KK Woodscapes. Also, gifts galore are also going to be awarded in a raffle to anybody who completes half of the laps. So you don't have to win by participating, if you can make it to the halfway point, raffles will occur. There's going to be a driving lesson from Conti Racing. There's going to be die casts given away by DDI. There's going to be trophies given away by KK Woodscapes that you can use for your league. And this just in, you can win a rebroadcast voucher from yours truly, Mean Gene Money. That's right. You can sell it if you don't own a league, or if you own a league, I'll come and give you a rebroadcast, and you can put that up right here on the Vortex Racing Network. Or if you pay the fine in my contract, I might even put it up on your channel as well. All of this coming in February, the VRN Drive for 500. Make sure you're a part of this. Boys, that's going to wrap us up for today. Joe, final thoughts walking out of here.
Yeah, we had a great race here. A lot of green flag racing in the back half of it. We almost had a green flag run to the end. It would have been interesting to see if Malarkey and Owens, who would have won in that battle, if Landry had enough fuel. Same with Vulpes. But we had that caution, and then just some unfortunate stuff happened after that caution that really just makes us ask what could have been there for those last 25 laps as well.
Oh, just like all my relationships. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Gonna have to wait to see next week, though, as the boys will be at Vegas and see if those guys under the cut line can get that win and find themselves in that championship race. Johnny Replay, what are we thinking over there, brother?
I'm already thinking about that Las Vegas buffet.
I'll tell you what a guy, Jason Landry. You know, I got to ask you this, though. There's a Y intersection when you walk into the buffet. Left side is the lobster and crab. Right side is everything else. Which way are we headed?
Oh, left side.
Yeah, baby. I love to eat that shellfish, so cannot wait. Big congratulations to Jason Landry for taking the win, and big shout out for Landry for buying the entire booth at Lobster and Crab Buffet. Can't wait to see you in Las Vegas. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap us up from Bristol. Been a pleasure to make this broadcast for you. On behalf of myself, Mean Gene Money, Smokin' Joe, Johnny Replay, thanks to the production boys back at Vortex Racing Network. Big shout out to the league admins for the Bonfire Racing League, and love all of our sponsors that made this possible. Matt Schofield with EuroSpeed Racing, primary race sponsor. Thank you to Kevin Kyle, KK Woodscapes, and Sim and Destroy Racing Company. Get that merch now before the back dates get too tough. And special thanks to Jason Landry as well for the poll award, the simracingnation.com poll award. Thank you so much, Jason. Ladies and gentlemen, have a beautiful Sunday afternoon. We'll see you tomorrow night. And as always, bottoms up and hammer down.